Welcome, you're watching Vox News, your daily evening news with Rita Kamkumo. Senegal passed a law that came into force on Monday that prohibits single-use plastic bags to reduce the use of plastic bags in the country considerably. However, specific provisions will not be implemented before the end of the coronavirus pandemic to mitigate the economic impact. The new law prohibits the importation of plastic waste and targets single-use and disposable plastic products such as beverage straws, retail and supermarkets packaging, or coffee and teacups, according to the Ministry of the Environment. However, the authorities will continue to allow, for the time being, the production and distribution of mineral water in plastic bags, a form of consumption that is extremely popular in the country, yet causes pollution. The new legislation provides for coercive provisions such as a prison sentence to ensure compliance. It complements a similar law dating from 2015, which bans the sale of fine plastic bags but has hardly been enforced. On the sanitary level in Madagascar, President Andry officially launched on Monday a remedy against coronavirus based on local medicinal plants named COVID Organics, which according to him has already cured 2 COVID-19 patients. The president decided to distribute the medicinal solution free of charge to school children who will go back to school on Wednesday as a preventive measure.
School children should be given this to drink, but they should not drink the bottle all at once, but drink little by little throughout the day. In the morning, in the evening, but not all at once like when you take Nivaquine. You too can drink it at home. Make a preparation. It is a bit bitter, a little bit bitter, but the taste is still good even if it's bitter. All trials and tests have been conducted and its effectiveness in reducing the elimination of symptoms has been proven for the treatment of patients with COVID-19 in Madagascar. So today I think I'm convinced, I'm persuaded that in fact history will prove us, but today there are already 2 cases that have been cured with the Tembavig CVU, but we will see what happens next.
Mais on verra en fait la suite.
The decoction and organic herbal tea based on Artemisia and other Malagasy plants kept secret were developed by the Malagasy Institute of Applied Research.
The COVID organics will be used in prophylaxis, in prevention, but clinical observations have shown a trend towards its effectiveness as a curative remedy. Other clinical studies are currently underway.
The new medicine will be on sale from Wednesday in pharmacies and supermarkets and will be available for free to the most vulnerable people in the country. On Monday, Ghana became the first country in Africa to lift the lockdown imposed in the past 3 weeks because the measure is not suitable for the country, according to the president, Nana Akufo-Addo. The president decreed the end of confinement in Accra and Kumasi, 2 urban centers that concentrate most of the country's activities, in a televised speech on Sunday. The head of state said the country remains cautious against the pandemic and has tested to date 68,000 people out of a total of 86,000 people in observation, making it the first African country with the highest test rate per million. The president assured that thanks to a significant increase in screening capacity, the traceability of people in contact with the sick and the opening of new quarantine centers, the country was able to resume to normal life gradually. However, social distancing measures are still in place, schools and universities remain closed, as well as borders. In Burkina Faso, businesses are finally able to resume at the central market of Ouagadougou, considered the economic lung of the country, that reopened on Monday, nearly a month after its closure due to coronavirus, for the relief of shopkeepers.
It's not easy for us shopkeepers. We're not civil servants earning a monthly salary, so we sit around and if we don't get paid, we can't eat. It is when we trade that we also earn our bread.
We are happy, but coming in is a little difficult. We line up at least 30 minutes before we get in. Are the customers going to agree to do that? Line up like this for 2 hours to get in? It's going to be hard, but we are trying to figure out how it's going to play out.
The shops will not open until Tuesday after the official ceremony to give the merchants time to regain possession of their stalls. According to the mayor of Ouagadougou, Armand Bewende, authorities have decided to reopen the huge market to relieve the traders and to allow them to continue their activity and participate in the revival of the national economy.
The informal economy in our country accounts for 49% of our GDP, and more than 90% of Burkinabe work in this sector. It also has a social character. Statistics show that Ouagadougou has 3 million inhabitants with about 500,000 households, so reopening Rue Woko is enabling these households to live with dignity without falling into precariousness and deprivation.
The Commerce Minister Aruna Kabore believes the decision to reopen the country's leading market is necessary and should not be singled out amid the fight against the pandemic.
Our behavior is decisive. It's decisive because it allows us to learn, it allows us to gradually open up the other markets. It will allow us to work towards the resumption of transport activities. It will soon allow us to work towards the resumption of activities in the streets and stations. And it will therefore allow us, if we manage to overcome the disease very quickly, to lift the other measures. The opening up of the market must not be allowed to become a black spot in this process, which has already begun.
According to the Ouagadougou Urban Development Agency, the central market has nearly 3,000 shops and about 28,000 people work there. In Cameroon, as the coronavirus continues to make victims in the country, President Paul Biya has made a donation of nearly 2 billion CFA francs, or $3.3 million, in health equipment, as announced by the Minister of Territorial Administration on Monday. The donation includes, among other things, 4 million pieces of soap, 50,000 surgical masks for hospital staff, rapid test kits, and respirators for hospitals. The initiative is in addition to the National Solidarity Fund for the fight against the pandemic that President Biya had already created and to which he supplied up to 1 billion CFA francs, or $1.6 million. These initiatives come amid controversy over the silence of the president, who has yet to address the nation since the beginning of the health crisis. In Tanzania, President John Magufuli has called on his fellow citizens to continue their activities despite the coronavirus pandemic.
If you have a shop or you are running any business, you are free to open them. If you run a transportation business, you are free to continue transferring passengers. That's why, my fellow Tanzanians, I've never banned transportation of goods to the borders.
As a citizen of this country, I support the president's decisions. Since this country is still poor, if they decide to lock down people, citizens of this country will die of hunger, since most citizens depend on going out to work to earn their daily income. Tanzanians are different from other countries' citizens. By nature, Tanzanians are very stubborn. If corona will keep spreading, then most people will die.
President Magufuli, a devout Christian, had declared 3 days of national prayers from Friday to help defeat coronavirus. In Uganda, the authorities have offered homeless children a safe refuge over the lockdown period, located in a primary school near downtown Kampala.
As a city administration, we have provided temporary shelter to 180 children who live and work on the street. When the lockdown happened, we had children that live and work on the street, and when the directive to stay at home was made, they did not have a home to go to because their home is on the street. And then because they also live off the street, they did not have anything to eat.
The message that was out there that this disease, the pandemic, kills, yeah. And when they came here, they came for refuge, yeah. But to their surprise, they got a good team of social workers who are really helping them, like build other skills, life skills. Like even if those who choose not to go back home, at least they have a certain value that they have gotten from here.
On the 14th of April, President Museveni extended the initial 14-day national lockdown by an extra 3 weeks until the 5th of May to stem the progression of the new coronavirus. Medical staff in Malawi, including doctors, have stopped working and demand that the government gives them personal protective equipment and a better salary under the current sanitary crisis. At Kumuzu Central Hospital, in the country's capital Lilongwe, patients went back home untreated as there was nobody to care for them.
I came here on March 16. My child was operated on the 20th of March. Up to now, the wound is still not healing. We were supposed to go back to the theatre today, but this has failed as the doctors are on strike.
I have been referred here from Vaila Hospital, but I have not been attended to because nurses are on strike.
The clinic at Kamazu Barracks referred me here because I have a tumor in the abdomen. Doctors here advised me to come today, the 20th. And I am being told that they cannot operate on me because nurses are on strike.
Health workers are complaining about critical equipment shortages, including high-filter masks, glasses or full suits. Their requests also include an increase in the risk allowance or the hiring of more doctors. The Lesotho coalition government signed on Monday an agreement with South Africa in which it pledged to allow a dignified, elegant and safe withdrawal from the disputed Prime Minister Tom Tabane without setting a date. In power since 2017, Mr. Tabane sent the army to the streets of the kingdom to restore order on Saturday in response to those who demand his resignation. The small kingdom is experiencing a political crisis since the leader of the government was questioned at the beginning of the year as part of the murder of his ex-wife in 2017. That's it for today. Thank you for watching Vox News.